Hello everybody, it is me, Andrew, and this is going to be a video about the books that I am reading and about the decks that I'm using for springtime. It's spring. Um, I used to think fall was my favorite, and fall still might be my favorite, but you don't even know how excited I am for spring. Like, spring has just been, I've been waiting for it, and the energy is so different from this with this spring. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm just in the mood. I think something good is going to happen. I think that we are going to enter into a collective like raising of our vibrations, and that we are going to see things manifest, and that we are going to see things bloom, and things that we thought had died or that we had lost is just coming back. And a lot of new things have started with me too, so I just want to say hi, and I'm going to talk to you about a lot of stuff right now. Not a lot of stuff, but just some stuff that I've been doing. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about, my book is over here that I forgot to put out in front of me. So I was cleaning out my cabinet. So my altar is on top of my cabinet, and then I have my altar is a cabinet, and the top of it is my altar, and then I have all my decks and books and things, and one cabinet, then I have another altar with stuff on. That's a cabinet too. So my altar doubles as a cabinet to put all my crap in, right? So, excuse me. I was trying to find some spring decks to get my spring decks out to work with them, right? And in the process, ended up kind of straightening up my my cabinet a little bit. And so I have a copy of A Course in Miracles, right? And I got this copy because I was very intrigued by what Gabby Bernstein was talking about, and I wanted to know more. And so I bought A Course in Miracles. This was this was a long time ago that I got this, and I never really read it, honestly. I tried to read it, but it was too much for me at the time. But so I was cleaning my cabinet out, and my book opened to this page. I had taken out, and I think I had picked it up or something, and it just opened to this page. And it was really what I needed at that moment. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I love this so much. So this is chapter 29, The Awakening, the closing of the gap. There is no time, no place, no state where God is absent. There is nothing to be feared. There is no way in which a gap could be conceived of in the wholeness that is His. The compromise, the least and little gap, would represent in His eternal love is quite impossible. For it would mean that His love could harbor just a hint of hate. His gentleness turns sometimes to attack, and His eternal patience sometimes fail. All of this do you believe when you perceive a gap between your brother and yourself. So I was really this just hit me like a ton of bricks, because not only is it saying there is no time, no place, no state where God is absent. God, source, whatever you want to call it, is present in every moment. Every moment you have that energy available to you because you are part of that energy. You are part of the very energy that created you. Let that sink in. How amazing and magnificent is that? That you are part of the energy that created you, the tree outside, your pet, the skies, everything. You are part of that energy. And so when it says that there is no way a gap could be conceived, there's no way that God cannot be everywhere. Because if we say that He's not everywhere, or that Source isn't everywhere, then we're saying that His love isn't eternal. We're saying that I say He because this is how it words it, but that He's not gentle, that He's not patient. But Source, the universe, God, whatever, is very patient, and that was just really amazing to me to read that. And I actually put it in a picture and put it on my Instagram that day, because it was just so good to me. Like, it just really made me happy. So I started reading A Course in Miracles, And what I love about this is that in the introduction, right here, it says, "This is a course in miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means that it means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. This course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. The course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God." And I'm going to read you the first four, I want to say verses, but the first four lines, I guess, of the Course in Miracles. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. Miracles as such do not matter. The only thing that matters is their source, which is far beyond evaluation. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. All miracles mean life, and God is the giver of life. His voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know. But the fifth line, the fifth verse or whatever, is what really got to me. Fifth verse is, 5 and 6. 5 says miracles are habits and should be involuntary. They should not be under conscious control. Consciously selected miracles can be misguided. Miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. So I started reading A Course in Miracles. And it is definitely a interesting and mind-opening thing. So that's kind of where I'm at reading this. I really want to read this. I want to grow in this. And if the workbook, I think there's it's like a year long. Yeah, it's a year long. So it's really interesting, and I'm very intrigued by how this is going to help me heal and learn. This paired with Gabby Bernstein's teachings already have just made a huge difference. So I'm going to keep reading this. But this is one book that I am reading right now. This next book that I'm reading is, let's see. And this book is more one I'm reading intermittently. I'm not really like sitting down and reading it cover to cover. It's just kind of be something I read. But it is The Complete Book of Chakras by Cyndi Dale. It's Llewellyn's Complete Book of Chakras by Cyndi Dale. So obviously telling you about this book would just be forever. But it's actually awesome so far, and she really breaks down the chakras, and she goes into like how different cultures see chakras. Like, she goes into everything. It is super awesome. She goes into Kundalini. It's just really, really, really cool. So I'm definitely really intrigued by this. I do like it because I want to get more in touch with my chakras. I want to work more with them. So yes, I'm reading this book right now as well, but this isn't necessarily a very portable book. So it is a book that I read when I'm at home, that kind of thing. So, but yes, this is the Llewellyn's Complete Book of Chakras. So I really, really like this book a lot. So if you want to learn about chakras, I think this is a fantastic book to do that with. So now I'm going to talk about my spring decks, the decks that I'm using for spring. I am using as my tarot deck the Animal Totem Tarot. I am all about this deck. I really, really like it. The cardstock is absolutely phenomenal. It is out of this world. and it's a Llewellyn deck. I'm not going to say out of this world, but the card stock is very, very, very good. And it's Llewellyn. And I was like, wait, what? Llewellyn did this? I just wish they'd be consistent, because I got another deck by them, and I was like, this card stock is like a piece of shit. So I don't know what's going on with Llewellyn, but I'm going to show you some of these. But yeah, animals are very springtime. Animals are, very blooming and blossoming, and I really like it. So I'm all about springtime and happiness. So but yeah, I love the artwork on this deck. I love the back of the deck. I haven't used this deck in a client reading yet, so I'm not sure how it works in a client reading, but it works fantastic for me. It works very well with the other decks that I have on my altar, which I will show you after I show you this card, because I love the Queen of Wands, and I also love the Six of Cups because it's super cute. So yes, this deck is just so amazing, and it's so, I love it so much. It's so springtime, and the energy feels so right to work with this deck. So I'll probably be using it in a client reading sooner or later. But then I have the Botanical Inspirations deck that I pre-ordered it or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But I didn't even open it until springtime. Like, I opened it, but then I put it back because I didn't want to look at it until springtime because it's flowers. So it's published by U.S. Game Systems. The author of the deck is Lynn Araujo, or Lynn Sparrow. She's absolutely amazing. And so this has the flower, the scientific name of the flower, a quote, and kind of 2 keywords on it, which is really cool. I actually really like this deck. This is the back. So we have Violet. A White Rose, which is a new start and wisdom. So it's actually really interesting. I don't know if you could call it an oracle card deck, but it's definitely a deck that I use like an oracle card deck because I really like it. And it works very well with the spring theme. I'm also only working with 3 cards, with 3 decks for spring. So, which is unheard of because I had 6 on my altar. I had a Kuan Yin deck, an Isis deck, Lumina Tarot, Connected and Free Tarot, Connected and Free Oracle, the Alchemist Oracle. I had a lot of decks. I can't even remember all the decks that I had, but it was just too much because I felt bad not using some decks and that kind of stuff. But I really played it down a lot, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just use 3 decks, and it's been phenomenal so far. The other deck I'm using is the Gospel of Aradia deck, which honestly I wasn't quite sure why I was called to use this one for spring. Not that it's not spring-like, but I was just like, this is interesting. But I actually love this deck anyway, so, but it's actually been really great. It's been a very interesting deck to work with, and it has played very nicely with the other decks that I have. So I actually really like it. I haven't ever had it on my altar, so I'm getting it acquainted with all of my lovely bibs and bobs, which is basically crystals. And I do always have the guidebooks for the decks that I am working with for my personal readings on my altar as well. So I have them stacked between a candle and my Isis statue, so I have all 3 of the guidebooks for these decks. Especially for decks like this one, the Stacey DeMarco decks, her guidebooks are always legit. And so my finger was covering that. That says Divinity. Her decks are always legit and have a great meaning and a lot of information. So let's see. Let's find a springy card. Creation is very spring, like the bunnies do. Reconciliation. Ecstasy, I think, is a spring card. And we have Synergy. And one of my favorites, the Masculine. So those are the decks that I'm working with this spring for my personal, my personal readings, my personal time. That when I draw cards for myself, and I have other decks that I kind of use intermittently. I don't have one deck. Like I said, I carry decks with me, so I carry my Jesus deck and stuff like that. So I'm not really stressed about that, about having a lot of decks to carry with me. So, but yeah. So those are the decks that I'm using for spring. Those are the books that I'm reading right now. A Course in Miracles, I think, is more than just a book. I think it's more of a way of being, and that's why I'm not rushing with this one or with the chakra book, because I want to learn as much as I possibly can. This book is definitely more a priority now. I'm also doing some Gabby Bernstein work, watching some Gabby Bernstein videos and meditations and stuff like that. So, but yeah, if you guys would like a reading with me, today is the last day to get 25% off your readings when you use the code HAPPY. Because yesterday was the International Day of Happiness. So you can enter the code HAPPY at checkout, get 25% off. Today's the last day for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will be seeing you guys very soon. Love and light, peace and love. I just hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that this springtime brings everything that you've ever dreamed of and more. So talk to you soon. See you later. Hasta la vista. Bye.